Education Update is a co-production of PBS 39, Pennsylvania Training and Technical Assistance Network, and Lancaster-Lebanon Intermediate Unit 13.
Pennsylvania is committed to having all students graduate from high school, college, career, or workforce ready. This means that our schools are going to have to equip our students with the knowledge, skills, and experiences that they need to be successful beyond high school. Districts across the Commonwealth are preparing students for success after high school by offering dual credit, AP, and independent study type programs. We've seen great partnerships between our K-12 districts and our institutions of higher learning to provide credit-bearing courses for our students. Programs like these help set a foundation for successful career pathways after high school. We're proud of our teachers and administrators who work tirelessly on behalf of our students to provide these opportunities for them each day. Working together, we can prepare all of our students for success.
Thank you for joining us for Education Update. I'm Laura McHugh. In 2016, more than 125,000 students graduated from high school in Pennsylvania, and more than 2/3 of them plan to continue their education in college. Through opportunities such as advanced placement courses, dual credit, and independent study, many of them have a leg up when they begin higher education.
Hi, I'm Will Del Pilar. I'm Deputy Secretary of Post-Secondary and Higher Education for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We're really proud to be able to say that in 2015, 120,000 AP tests were taken, with 67% of students scoring a 3 or higher on those tests. That means those students were eligible for college credit. Those students will be able to take those courses with them on to post-secondary.
There's just so many AP classes that are just readily available to the students.
AP Computer Science,
Chemistry, Physics,
AP Calculus,
and AP Comparative Government.
My favorite class was AP Psychology when I took my junior year.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Blum, High School Principal at Delaware Valley. Welcome to the home of the Warriors. At the Delaware Valley High School, we currently offer 25 advanced placement classes in a variety of subjects, both humanities and STEM related.
One of the things that the AP curriculum offers students is the ability to not just learn content, but be challenged in really unique ways.
Most of the AP classes at DV, they are hard, but I think that's the point of AP classes, is to challenge you.
Every year they have a list of AP scholars that they put up, and I feel like that really gives inspiration to the students to really want to succeed.
I love math. I have a lot of friends who teach statistics in college, and they wish they had the 180 days I have, but they have to teach in 45 days the same material. They don't get the time to be able to do the hands-on activities that I often get to incorporate.
The class experience is much more difficult than a standard high school class. And of course you have the opportunity to score well on the AP test, which would then allow you to save, I'd imagine, loads of money in college not taking those additional classes.
Policies that we have in the Delaware Valley High School is that if a student achieves a B+ or above, we will pay in advance for their advanced placement exam.
I feel fortunate that I could have the opportunity at DV to take the AP classes.
The training for teachers is out of this world. The training that they do before they're an AP teacher, and you can see it when you visit the classrooms. I just love the idea that there's no such thing as senioritis. That's the most important thing. Our kids are pushing it right to June of their senior year.
One student in particular I can think of, it actually took an American government class his freshman year in college. He'd got a 2 on the exam here, but he said, man, it was so easy, like everything you taught us, AP government, I knew all that stuff, so he had the groundwork there for him.
The AP exam at the end of the year sort of serves as a motivating factor for the class.
When you take the test, if you do really well, you can get college credit, which is really beneficial for some people who want to cut down on cost.
They're prepared, they're going in with advanced standing, and they're not wasting their parents' money.
As post-secondary institutions examine students' transcripts, the fact that a student has an AP course will really help them in the admissions process. And so we also know that it has value not only in terms of preparing students, but also making them competitive when they go on to apply to college.
Hi, I'm Joe McCormick and welcome to Shenango High School. The AP program provides a variety of benefits to our graduates. First and foremost is already earning college credits before they enroll in higher education. We've had students graduate with 18 or more college credits already completed.
You get a variety of students that come through your door. There are certain courses that just won't challenge your highest end students. And the AP course is great because those kids can find challenges that might not exist for them in other classrooms. And for a district of our size, only graduating somewhere between 70 and 100 kids, for us to be having 30, 35 kids taking AP courses is something that we feel very proud of.
Our AP teachers here are so supportive, and they're all very intelligent and knowledgeable on their subjects, and they really help make learning fun.
I've gotten 2 5s so far on the 2 AP classes that I've taken. It felt great to get the results back. compare with your friends and see how they did, and it was all just fun and smiles whenever I found out I got 5s.
Rather than having a due date every week, small little assignments, they're managing larger chunks of information. They're able to learn to manage their time and to work with their instructors on a really different level.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Safran, and welcome to Brashear High School. I think previously there was a mindset here that only the gifted and talented students could take advanced placement classes. As long as a student has that drive and that interest and they really want to push themselves, we push them.
I'm proud of the kids all the time. They push themselves.
When I graduate in June, I'll have
10 with 24 college credits.
I love being an AP teacher.
When I graduate, I'll have taken 13.
5,
4,
6 AP classes.
And next year I plan to attend the University of Pittsburgh
and Westminster College.
Penn State University.
And eventually I hope to go into astrophysics.
Looking towards engineering.
Maybe chemistry.
Pre-med.
Between the valuable skill sets I've gained throughout my AP courses, as well as the learning experiences and the friendships I've made, AP courses have definitely enhanced my high school experience. In addition to advanced placement courses, dual credit opportunities allow students to begin taking college courses in high school.
Hi, I'm Will Del Pilar, Deputy Secretary of Post-Secondary and Higher Ed for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Currently, we have over 10,000 students who enrolled in post-secondary classes in partnerships with 300 schools, with students taking over 31,000 courses over the last year.
I'm taking anatomy and physiology, I'm taking microbiology now.
Latin 4 CHS, Latin 5 CHS.
Dual enrollment Spanish 4, dual enrollment English, and now dual enrollment anatomy.
Here at Lehigh Carbon Community College, we are proud to be a partner with our sponsoring school districts to provide dual enrollment opportunities for their schools. They can come to campus and take a course or take it online. Students have an opportunity to explore career opportunities. It certainly allows them to gain the confidence to know that they can complete college courses, and it shortens the time to graduation of a college degree after they graduate from high school.
Coming here makes me able to take twice as many classes in a year as I could at Allen.
I'm a big fan of dual enrollment. About 100 students from our school receive credits from L-Tri-C. It's a great opportunity for our students to experience college life both in our building or have the opportunity to come to campus and really live like a college student.
This is a great program. Research tells us that students who do well in dual enrollment classes tend to have a stronger, more positive transition to a college setting. What's exciting to me is watching a student's confidence grow. It requires flexibility on the part of L-Tri-C and the secondary school partner to make sure the calendar are agreeable to both institutions.
I can definitely say that the high school and the college both work together to make things work out perfectly. And my counselor at Allen, he does a lot. He goes out of his way to make sure that everything works out for me.
Hi, I'm Jeannie Grieger, College and Career Counselor. Welcome to DeEarth High School. I think the biggest champions of getting students into the dual credit programs are the students themselves. They seek challenge, they help each other, they know the benefits of taking a dual credit course. They get an early start on what's ahead for them in their college careers. There are some barriers they may come up, and the two of the biggest ones are cost and transportation. So our district pays for not only the tuition and fees, but also books and supplies.
The students are very eager to learn. They're usually very prepared because they're so interested in having the opportunity to take a college credit and to also learn things that they wouldn't have the opportunity to learn otherwise. I'm not only teaching them the material, but I'm teaching them how to take a college course.
I've always had a passion for anatomy and the subject just fascinates me. So to be actual here in high school dissecting things already is such an amazing experience. I plan to graduate high school in June, then go to the University of Pittsburgh or Lafayette College, where I will continue my med studies and then soon become a family physician.
DE has given me the opportunity to learn more about subjects that interest me while here at high school.
One of the reasons we continue to promote dual enrollment is because when we look at the research nationally shows us that students who enroll in dual enrollment are more likely to go on to post-secondary. So that's why we continue to believe and partner with institutions to make sure we provide access for students across the Commonwealth.
Close to 3,500 high school students in the state earn college credits through the University of Pittsburgh College and High School program each year through one of our almost 30 courses.
The teachers are really in charge of the course. It has kept me very busy, but I think it has been very worthwhile.
Because of the year I spent in high school, I earned enough credits where I could have completed the Doctor of Pharmacy program in 5 years instead of 6.
While I was at Shaler, I took the college and high school credits for Calculus 1. That course really helped me prepare for what college life was like.
I would say to put in the work while you're still in high school and take a college and high school credit.
A lot of the kids that are coming out of the CHS classes are earning up to 20 to 30 college credits. We go down to Pitt and we have training in our departments. So every department has their special time for the training. And also the professor at Pitt will create the tests that we are to give the high school students.
It's really helpful because you get a longer time to actually study and learn what you're doing. Instead of learning by yourself, you can interact with the teachers.
I think they're pretty awesome because it's a faster track to college.
We were very excited that last year, during the 2015-16 school year, we had 192 students participate in the Penn College dual enrollment program, which equated to about 832 credits, which in essence then saved them approximately $450,000 in tuition.
When I graduate next year, I plan to have 8 to 12,
14,
12, 18.
Over 30 credits.
I earned 12 credits while I was there.
In high school, I earned about 20 credits through the college and high school program.
We really are proud of the instructors for taking that extra effort and putting in the time in to be able to teach a college level course at a high school campus.
To learn more, we welcome Matthew Stem, Pennsylvania's Deputy Secretary for Elementary and Secondary Education. Matthew, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure to be here.
Why is there such an increased emphasis on career and workforce readiness?
One of the things we know in Pennsylvania is that our workforce is changing. 55% of our jobs in the Commonwealth are middle skills jobs, which pay living wages, but require different skills than maybe years ago. And then we also have 30% of our jobs are high skill jobs. And when we look at our schools, we really need to be sure that we're aligned to our workforce's needs and equipping students for the new realities.
So how do programs like the ones we've seen throughout this show, like advanced placement and dual credit opportunities, prepare students for the careers that they're going to go into in the future?
Sure. One of the things that all of these types of opportunities like advanced placement and dual credit programs have in common is that they provide challenge and they also provide opportunities that wouldn't be a part of the normal program of study that you'd receive in high school. So for example, with independent study courses, you're allowing students to take very specific courses that might not be offered as part of the regular curriculum, but tap into students' passions and interests in ways that equip them for their world after graduation.
How do you measure success when it comes to programs like these?
Yeah, there's a few ways that we measure success in these programs. One is the offerings that schools are able to provide. So we would say schools have been successful if they're providing wide range of opportunities from advanced placement courses to independent studies and to dual credit, dual enrollment programs. The second would be looking at student enrollment in those courses and are they seeing increases in students participating in these courses. And then finally looking at the outcomes. And so, you know, in advanced placement courses, for example, what percentage of students are scoring a 3, 4, or 5 on their exams? And in dual credit, how many college credits are we awarding to students in high school? And are those numbers growing? And in independent studies, what's the quality of the projects? And are we seeing increasing quality each year?
How are students' outcomes looking at this point?
Right, so we're seeing some excellent trends in Pennsylvania, but we still have a lot of work left to do. So for example, with advanced placements, we know that we've had well over 100,000 advanced placement tests have been taken in Pennsylvania, and 67% of our students taking advanced placement tests are scoring a 3 or higher on their exams. So that's higher than the national average, but again, we would hope to see even increasing outcomes there. The other thing, while talking about advanced placement, that we would like to see is more diversity in the students that are participating in advanced placement courses. We believe that it's important to demonstrate equity in our offerings and in students that are participating in those courses. So we'd like to increase there. And then when we look at things like dual credit and dual enrollment, we have well over 10 or 11,000 students that are participating in dual credit, dual enrollment offerings throughout the Commonwealth. We'd love to see more of our career and technical education students matriculating into those types of courses. We do have some excellent examples of the way that those partnerships can look, but certainly would love to see that expand as well.
I was one of those students many years ago who was taking advanced placement courses. These programs aren't new. but is the number of students engaging in them increasing?
Yeah, our numbers are increasing, but at the same time, again, we want to see even more offerings for students. And as an example, we know it's a particular challenge for some of our rural districts and some of our smaller schools to have enough students to matriculate into courses or to have the access to resources. And so one of the things that we're encouraging some of our smaller and rural districts to do is, for example, to look at some of the online offerings that exist now. Again, vetting them for quality, but there are many quality offerings as well that would allow us to increase some of our footprint into our rural and more smaller schools.
Thank you, Matthew. If you think independent study only applies to college students, here's a look at how Pennsylvania high schools incorporate it into secondary education.
One of the things that we really want to highlight in Pennsylvania is the opportunity that independent studies provide, because we know that students bring passions to what they do each day, and we want to give them the opportunities to pursue those passions and set them up for lifelong success.
Hi, I'm James Moniz, and welcome to Parkland High School. Here at Parkland, we have a robust independent study program. We offer students a multitude of ways to really expand their diverse career interests so that they can continue to grow and develop themselves as future professionals.
I love being an art teacher. One of my independent students currently is named Faith Nation. She took Photography 1 and Photography 2 with me, and then she took Photo 3 during her junior year. After that, during the spring, we allowed her to borrow a 4x5 view camera, and she took wonderful portraits of her family.
I feel fortunate to have had an independent study at Parkland because it's given me an opportunity to practice my photography a lot more. I continue to want to keep taking pictures in a classroom setting, but there isn't a photography floor here. So I talked to him about the independent study, and he said that it would be fine. Photography has helped me grow as a person.
I have an electric guitar at home. I have an acoustic as well. I want to make something that's kind of like a mix of both and something I don't normally see. So I saw the semi-hollow, and that just kind of popped out to me.
First of all, I make them do all the work for the independent study. They have to fill out the paperwork. They have to tell me what they're going to do, what are their goals, what are they going to try to accomplish. And then I let them know that they have to keep daily records, they have to keep a log or an engineer's notebook, and then that's their main grade is their process. And Seth has been a really good student, and he's embraced that part of it, the independent part, and kept good detailed records.
Now I know how to use different manufacturing machines so that maybe in the future, if I want to do something like this as a career, I have more experience. I plan on going to Drexel or Lehigh for manufacturing engineering.
In Jonathan's case, he only had one open space in his schedule, and he's choosing to spend that pursuing a new type of medium because he hasn't actually worked in animation before.
The independent study has helped me make a decision that I'd like to be an animator or work as a storyboarder. This independent study has helped me way more than a study hall ever would. I'll be attending Syracuse University to study illustration next year.
Extremely proud of these kids. These students drive the teacher to explore new techniques, new content, and new technology.
I've been teaching art this is my 46th year. Well, we started an independent study program because we had so many students after level 1 and 2 say, can I continue? I really like doing it. I'd like to do more. It's for the students that are driven, self-motivated, and execute projects at a high level.
I'm a senior at Parkland High School. I plan to attend Kutztown University next year to major in art. The independent studies that I have taken definitely influenced my decision to become an art teacher. I wrestle, I played football, I do track and field. Everybody needs to be creative. We have great teachers, great staff, great utensils, utilities, tools, everything that I need to make my dreams come true.
With independent study students, maybe incorporate this new material, or maybe we could do this new technique, which you can't do in a regular classroom. They're great kids.
What you see here is students really pushing themselves, and you see them pursuing their dreams.
Independent study allows students to pursue a topic that prepares them for college opportunities as well as workforce opportunities, or possibly just a topic of interest. Pennsylvania doesn't mandate that districts offer independent studies, but we strongly encourage that they provide these opportunities to their students.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kaufman, and welcome to Central York High School. It's a great day to be a Panther.
Here at Central York High School, we have a Build Your Own Course program. This program is part of our Mass Customized Learning Initiative, and the idea is how do we provide more voice and choice for our learners. It allows them to explore areas of passion.
It is definitely personalized learning on a whole other level. I've been an English teacher 24 years. I love being a teacher. A young lady wanted to work on veterinary tech. We sat down and we worked together to decide what is important. What are the things that a vet tech needs to know? The difficulty is there's no farm. There are no horses here. But we decided to do videos instead. So when you have a horse that has a thrush problem or has a lameness issue, she would go and take her horse and do a film, and then she'd bring the video back to me, and I would grade the video. The kid brings their passion, they bring their willingness to learn. I always believe that when you can move a child emotionally, the child can move mountains. So if it is something that they are very, very serious about, they will put the utmost effort into it. And the teacher really does become a facilitator, and you do a little less teaching and a little more facilitating to help them become the owners of their education.
I'm Bryce, and I like computer science. So last semester, I participated in a Build Your Own course. We created our own video games, and we built it from the ground up. It helped drive my passion. It was something our school doesn't offer that allowed us to do what we wanted and get a credit for it. Overall, we had a blast and we learned so much from it. When I graduate, I want to go to school for computer science. I would like to work in a field called augmented reality.
If we made this a pass-fail course, it really encourages our learners to explore something out of their comfort zone. Some of our learners were looking at it as, I want to learn this for the love of learning.
So Matthew, are programs like independent study available in all schools?
Not all schools currently offer independent study programs. A good number of schools do, and it's one of the areas that we'd like to see more schools pursue to ensure that students have those sorts of opportunities.
What resources are available to a school that would like to increase their independent study programs and their career readiness programs as a whole?
Right, so we know the Pennsylvania Department of Education provides a toolkit that allows districts to look at ways that they could set up programs and give some guidelines for how to do effective independent study programs. And then also we would encourage districts to look at other districts who have model programs and learn from their peers some of the successes and challenges that they've had in setting those types of programs up.
How has independent study changed the way our classrooms look, and what excites you most about it?
Yeah, one of the things that really excites me about independent study is that it's experiential, it's hands-on, and it is very precisely aligned to students' interests. So you may see a student doing independent study on forensics, or a student doing an independent study on a very particular programming language. And because the students are so interested in that topic, they are essentially kickstarting their post-secondary career while they're still in high school.
How do you prepare teachers to take on that role?
Right, so in order to be successful in independent study, you need an advisor that's very committed not only to the content that's being studied, but also really committed to that student. Because independent study requires a student to be self-directed. And so because the learning is taking place at the student's pace and directed by the student, advisors need to have the relational skills to be able to stay in close contact with the student and ensure that they're making progress along the way.
As we wrap up this program, what's the next big thing we should be looking forward to in secondary education?
I think one of the next big things that we should be looking forward to in secondary education is an increase in career pathways and multiple pathways programs, mass customized learning. We have a lot of districts that are really now starting to take the next steps and go deeper with their implementation of programs that are not only having small pockets of students in independent study, but actually structuring multi-age groups that are pursuing independent studies to scale and students sharing and learning from one another.
Thank you so much, Matthew. And thank you for joining us for Education Update. Have a great school year.
This program is recorded at the PPL Public Media Center at PBS 39 in Bethlehem.